Hello, my name is Emily Robinson, and I will be speaking to y'all today about why cheerleading should be considered a sport. You may see cheerleaders as just those people that stand on the sidelines and cheer at football games, but there's a lot more to it than that. Since cheerleading is not considered a technical sport, there is no real funding for that program. This also makes people less interested in cheer because it's not considered a real sport. During this speech, I hope to convince you to believe that cheerleading actually is a sport. One of the main issues with cheerleading not being a sport is that it's not receiving proper funding. The average cost per year for each cheerleader is about $1,000 or up, depending on the program. Each cheerleader has to buy their own shoes, their own pom-poms, their own clothes, their own bows, camp fees, and competition fees. This is an example of a t-shirt that you have to purchase with your packages that most teams have to buy. The only support that cheerleaders can get when paying for their fees is using fundraisers to help them, but most of the time these fundraisers don't cover enough of the payments, not even most of the payment. The solution to this problem would be to put cheerleading in the sport category so that they could receive the same funding as other sports. The interest in cheer has also gone down because it's not recognized as a sport. Cheer needs the recognition as a sport so that the new generations coming up can be interested in cheer and have it as an option to choose. People that are not educated on what actually goes into being a cheerleader make fun of it and say that it isn't a proper sport. This is because this causes the people who are actually interested and haven't had experience to not want to do it anymore because they feel like they're just going to get made fun of. If cheer was actually confirmed as a sport, this would change people's idea, and then they couldn't make fun of it anymore because then it technically is a real sport. Also, the time that it takes for cheer teams to practice and learn their routines on its own should be enough to make it a sport. Most cheer teams practice every single day, and they also have to perform every single Friday or sometimes during the week. When learning and practicing these new stunts and skills, there's also a lot of room for error. This can cause a lot of injuries, and actually, cheerleading, out of all the other female-dominated sports, causes the most injuries as of 2014 through 2018. So with all the risks that these girls take every single time that they go out, they should have the recognition of being a proper athlete. If cheer was given the title of being a sport, it would help them see that the work that they are putting in is actually worth it. These are just some of the main reasons that I believe that cheerleaders should be considered a real athlete and it should be considered a real sport. Personally, I've cheered for the past 13 years of my life, making this topic very important to me. And I hope that bringing this issue forward to you guys makes you see that cheerleading actually should be a sport and changes your guys' mind. Are there any questions?
When you cheered, when did you start? When did you start practicing and getting ready to cheer?
I mean, I started cheer whenever I was 4, but what do you mean?
I'm talking about in the year. In the springtime?
Oh, you start in the middle of summer as soon as you get done with your tryouts, and then you keep going until pretty much the next tryout the next year.
You cheer or you practice every day after tryouts once you find out you're going to be in it. And then you practice every day until, the end of the
end of spring
season?
Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you.